meant for you. All right, Libra, let's get into your reading. So the message coming in strong today is this, and it carries a deep emotional weight. A serious confrontation took place between two people in your orbit, and it was entirely about you. This was not a quiet exchange of words. This was an all-out battle over your energy. Your person clashed directly with the third party, and neither one of them held anything back. The dust from that fight has not settled, and already movement is heading straight toward you. Whatever was said between them, it tore open every hidden layer that had been buried for weeks. You need to hear this because the reality of what happened is about to shift everything for you. The cards on this table are practically vibrating, and every single one of them confirms this message. Let us go ahead and dive in because the first card I have is the Five of Wands. Five of Wands confirms a direct conflict. Two people standing face to face, refusing to back down. This was not passive tension. This was verbal, and it was bold and unflinching from both sides. Five of Wands says the third party staked their claim, and your person fired back without hesitation. The argument centered on who belongs in your life, and your person was not about to lose that. Jealousy was fueling the third party, and your person sensed it and called it out on the spot. Every word that came out was intentional, loaded with the kind of raw truth that leaves marks. Five of Wands tells me the energy was competitive, like two people who both want the same treasure. You are that treasure, and hearing this may feel overwhelming, but the cards back it up completely. Now, the next card coming through is the Tower, and it brings this reading to a different level. The Tower only arrives when something massive has cracked wide open, and that is exactly what occurred. This card says the fight between them, at its core, was the breaking point, destined to finally arrive. The Tower stripped every pretense, every mask, and every polite lie that held things together too long. Your person released everything, every buried feeling, every frustration, every ounce of love they carry for you. The third party heard all of it, and the shock of that honesty left them completely without words. The Tower cracked this wide open, and what happened cannot be reversed or denied by either of them. The raw truth that erupted between them cannot be undone, and neither of them can pretend it away. What existed before is finished now. The old dynamic between all three of you has collapsed for good. No one can return to pretending, to staying silent, or to the way things were before this unfolded. The ground beneath this connection shifted permanently, and from the rubble, something new is already being built. Then we have the Knight of Swords, and this card charges toward you with unstoppable force behind it. Knight of Swords says a decision was reached in the heat of that moment, and it was absolute. They are not waiting for permission or seeking approval. They are simply coming straight to you right now. The fight ignited something vital inside them, a clarity that had been missing, and nothing holds them back. Knight of Swords carries an urgency that cannot be ignored, and your person is consumed by it completely. Every second of hesitation they ever carried was burned away in that argument, and certainty replaced it entirely. What drives them forward is not impulse. It is the absolute knowledge that you are where they belong. They understand what they desire. They recognize who they need, and nothing will interrupt that momentum anymore. The speed of their movement tells me clearly, this person will not rest until they are before you. The last card on this table is the Two of Wands, and a final choice has been made. Two of Wands says your person surveyed the full picture, saw every option, and chose you without question. This was not a choice born from confusion. It was made with full awareness of every possible outcome. Two of Wands holds the energy of a person at a crossroads, and yours picked your path firmly. The third party holds no position in this anymore because the Tower dismantled that link entirely for good. Your person is locked in and moving, and the cards confirm they are rushing toward you with everything. This message is undeniable, backed by the cards on this table, and it is in motion now. Okay, let us go deeper into this because I need to talk about where you stand in it. You have been carrying a heaviness in your chest, and it has been pressing down on you quietly. There are nights where your mind will not shut off, and the silence feels suffocating around you. You keep replaying old memories on a loop, wondering if you imagined the depth of what you felt. Part of you questions whether your emotions ran too deep, whether you loved harder than you should have. That doubt has eaten at you quietly, and it created a fog around how you view yourself now. You have not been resting well, and every time you close your eyes, your mind drags you in. The cards picked up every bit of that, and the first one here is the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords confirms a cycle of overthinking, and in your case, it has been absolutely relentless. This card reveals a mind that cannot quiet down, thoughts circling endlessly, with no peace ever arriving. Nine of Swords says you punish yourself with scenarios that, in all likelihood, may not even be real. The guilt living inside you was never earned, but you wear it like it permanently belongs to you. You convinced yourself you could have offered more, shown up differently, or handled things better back then. Nine of Swords uncovers a fear of being forgotten, a quiet terror sitting underneath all the noise. That fear lives in your stomach, and on certain days it grows so loud you can barely function. It twisted your inner narrative, and the stories your mind replays are not grounded in actual truth. You deserve to hear that, because the version your anxiety constructed does not match what really took place. The weight of those false narratives has been exhausting, and your spirit absorbed all of it silently. You have been functioning on empty, and you did not realize how much of yourself you gave away. The next card on your side is the Queen of Cups, and it sees who you are inside. Queen of Cups confirms that beneath the worry, you remain deeply connected to your own emotional center. You feel at a level most people never will, and that intensity is both your gift and burden. Queen of Cups says your intuition has been loud, telling you something crucial is shifting around you now. You sensed it in your body, a restlessness you cannot quite name, but you know it is real. Your heart grasps what your mind refuses to accept, and that inner war has left you completely drained. Queen of Cups tells me you pulled away lately, building distance from people who genuinely care about you. The walls you built grew heavy, much heavier than the very thing you were trying to protect inside. Then we have the Star, and this card on your side brings me a feeling of genuine comfort. The Star confirms that despite everything weighing on you, your hope has not been extinguished inside of you. A flame still burns at the center of your chest, and no amount of pain has killed it. The Star says you are closer to healing than you realize, and that breakthrough is approaching you quickly. You keep insisting that you are broken, but the Star says that is nowhere close to being true. What you truly are is a soul mid-transformation, shedding old layers that no longer fit you. The version of you emerging from this will be clearer, lighter, and far more grounded than ever before. You have not reached the other side yet, and that uncertain middle is where the ache still lives. The last card for your energy is the Ace of Cups, and your emotional capacity still overflows completely. This card says your heart stays open when you wish it closed, and that openness is real power. You tried shutting your feelings down entirely, yet they keep pouring through every crack and every wall. Ace of Cups tells me your capacity to love has not faded. It only waited for its moment. Nothing you endured managed to close your heart, and that resilience tells me everything I need to know. The depth of what you carry is extraordinary, and you need to stop treating it as a flaw. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It is the very foundation that holds everything in your world together. You are more resilient than you believe, and these cards recognize that, even when you cannot see it. Sit with that, because your side of this story carries far more strength than you have ever recognized. Now, let us see what the cards reveal, because I need to uncover what lives inside this person. This person has been battling a storm internally, and not a single soul around them knows it. The face they present to the world is composed, but underneath that mask, a war has been raging. They have been wrestling with feelings they never asked for, emotions that arrived and refused to leave. Every attempt to push those feelings aside failed, and the harder they try, the louder it gets. A pride lives inside them that will not allow vulnerability, and that pride has kept them frozen. They told themselves that silence was the safest option, but the cost of it has been devastating. The first card for their energy is the King of Pentacles, and it reveals a tremendous amount. King of Pentacles confirms this person operates from control, structure, and deep personal discipline at all times. They built their identity around being steady, and admitting raw emotion feels like a crack in that armor. King of Pentacles says they measure everything by logic, and what they feel defies all of it completely. That is exactly what terrifies them, because this connection fits inside no framework they have ever known. They tried to categorize it, tried to reason it away, and every time it only grew stronger. King of Pentacles also reveals a fear of losing what they built if they surrender to their heart. They weigh the cost of every emotional decision, and this one has paralyzed their thinking entirely. The internal conflict between duty and desire has been tearing them apart, and they hide it from everyone. The divide between what they want and what they think is right has become impossible to sustain. The next card on their side is the Moon, and it confirms confusion consuming them from within. The Moon says this person has been lost in their own head, unable to separate truth from fear. They do not trust what they feel, not because it is unclear, but because the intensity scares them. The Moon reveals a pattern of self-deception, where they tell themselves that distance is the mature path. In reality, that distance is born from terror, and the Moon exposes it without any mercy at all. They lie to themselves about how much this matters, and that lie is collapsing under its own weight. The Moon also uncovers jealousy they will not admit, a possessiveness buried in the deepest part of them. They felt threatened by anyone occupying the space they wanted, and that threat ignited something primal inside. Then we have the Six of Cups, and this card reveals what truly drives their attachment entirely. Six of Cups confirms this connection reaches back further than the present, rooted in something deeply familiar. This person feels a recognition they cannot explain, a sense of home that nothing else has ever matched. Six of Cups says the bond triggers memories of safety, of being fully accepted without performing or pretending. That feeling is rare for them, and losing access to it left a void nothing else could fill. They searched for that exact feeling elsewhere, and every substitute fell apart before it even truly began. Six of Cups tells me their nostalgia runs painfully deep, replaying shared moments when nobody is watching them. Those memories are sacred to them, and the thought of losing them permanently haunts their quiet hours constantly. The last card here is the Hermit, confirming this person withdrew deliberately to process their feelings inside. The Hermit says they isolated not from apathy, but from being so overwhelmed they could not function anymore. They needed distance to think, but that distance became a trap, and now they sit stuck inside it. The Hermit trapped them in a loop of analysis, where every thought circles back to the same ache. The Hermit reveals they have been sitting with regret, turning over every moment where they should have spoken. They replay conversations that never happened, rehearsing words they lacked the courage to say out loud. The guilt of their silence grows heavier each day, and the Hermit says it has become nearly unbearable. This person is not indifferent. They are drowning in everything they refused to express when it truly mattered. Their inner world is far more chaotic than they allow anyone to see, and the cards confirm it. So let us go ahead and get into it, because real movement is showing across this entire spread. This person has already started making decisions, and those decisions point directly in one clear direction. The hesitation that kept them still has cracked open, and action is replacing it at full speed now. They reached a turning point recently, and once they crossed it, going backwards was no longer an option. The shift happened fast, and the momentum behind it builds with every single day that passes from here. Something broke the cycle for them, and the moment it broke, they started moving without looking behind. Plans are being drawn up, conversations are being initiated, and steps are being taken that cannot be reversed. This is not theoretical momentum. This is boots on the ground energy that the cards are confirming clearly. The first card here is the Eight of Wands, and it confirms rapid forward motion across the board. Eight of Wands says everything that was stalled is now accelerating, and the pace is almost overwhelming. This card only lands when things shift at high speed, and in your reading, it arrived with force. Eight of Wands confirms messages being sent, reach outs happening, and communication lines reopening without hesitation. This person picked up the phone, typed the words, or made the call they had been avoiding entirely. The silence between them and this situation is officially over, and they are the one who broke it. Eight of Wands also points to travel or physical movement, not just digital contact or emotional gestures alone. A real chance exists that this person is closing distance, making arrangements, or heading toward a specific place. The pace of Eight of Wands leaves no room for hesitation, and this person matches it without question. Nothing about the way they are moving suggests doubt. Everything about it suggests a locked and loaded decision. They crossed the line from thinking to doing, and that crossing happened faster than most would ever believe. The next card coming through is the Page of Swords, adding a specific layer to this action. Page of Swords confirms this person gathered information, watched from a distance, and prepared their approach carefully. They did not rush in blindly. They observed first and now act on everything they collected in silence. Page of Swords says they checked indirect channels, monitored updates, and read between every available line quietly. This card tells me with full certainty that they know more than most people around them would expect. Page of Swords carries calculated timing, and this person is choosing their exact moment with full precision. They are not stumbling forward carelessly. Every step they take from this point is deliberate and mapped out. The reconnaissance phase is complete, and what follows now is direct engagement with zero hesitation attached to it. The line between intention and execution has been crossed, and from this side, no return is possible. Every move up to this point was preparation, and the execution phase is officially underway as we speak. They positioned themselves carefully, and now the final pieces are falling into place, one after the other. The timing of their reappearance is intentional, and nothing about when they chose to act was random. The last card landing is the Three of Wands, confirming a plan is already set fully into motion. Three of Wands says this person is not merely considering coming forward. They have already activated their approach. The groundwork was laid, the first steps were taken, and the rest is unfolding in real time. Three of Wands shows a figure at the edge looking outward, and that is their exact position now. They mapped the route, they see where they are heading, and nothing about this approach is accidental. Three of Wands confirms expansion, forward vision, and a refusal to stay hidden or remain small any longer. The movement in this reading is undeniable, and every card pulled points to action that is already underway. What was frozen has completely thawed, and this person is covering ground faster than anyone around them anticipated. The cards are not predicting future action. They are documenting movement that has already begun and keeps building. This person is in motion, the direction is set, and what unfolds next will be impossible to ignore.
Now, let us go into it, because what this person hides inside needs to finally reach the surface. Confessions sit in the chest of this person, and not one of them has ever been spoken aloud. They carry words they rehearsed 1,000 times, and every single time they swallowed them back down. The depth of what they feel terrified them into silence, and that silence became their only shield. They want to say things that would reshape this connection entirely, but the risk of it paralyzes them. Those unspoken words press against their ribs constantly, building pressure that has no outlet and no relief. These are not casual feelings. These are declarations that would permanently alter everything between them. This person imagines saying it all, picturing the exact moment where every buried truth finally spills over. The first card for their confessions is the Lovers, and it confirms what I suspected from the start. The Lover says this person views this bond as sacred, the most meaningful they have ever known. They refuse to admit that openly, but inside their own mind, they already know this is the one. The Lovers confirms they measure every other bond against this, and nothing has ever come close to it. They confess silently that they chose wrong before, that every step leading away was a deep mistake. The Lovers reveals a craving for complete union, not a surface reconnection, but a full merging of worlds. They fantasize about waking beside this energy permanently, building something real that nobody can pull apart. That craving burns inside them constantly, and the inability to express it eats them alive each passing day. The Lovers tells me they built a future in their mind, a detailed vision constructed in total secrecy. They designed a life around this bond without telling a soul, and that private blueprint consumes their thoughts. Carrying that vision alone has been crushing, because they see it so clearly and yet say nothing. The second card here is the Seven of Cups, exposing the fantasies they guard most carefully inside themselves. Seven of Cups says this person daydreams about this connection, far more than they would dare to confess. They picture reconciliation in vivid detail, imagining conversations where they lay everything bare on the table. Seven of Cups reveals they rehearse apologies never delivered, crafted with precision and repeated endlessly in private. They ache to be forgiven for the distance, the silence, and every moment where they completely fell short. That desire for forgiveness is not performative. It lives in their marrow, and it is entirely constant. They told themselves the longing would fade, but every attempt to suppress it only made it louder. Seven of Cups uncovers a longing masked by indifference, pretending they moved on when they absolutely did not. The deepest truth is that they never stopped wanting this, not for a single day since it fractured. In private, they confess that no one else has reached the part of them reserved for this bond. Their inner world overflows with visions of what could exist, and Seven of Cups exposes all of it. They imagine being chosen back, held without conditions, and told that the door remains open for them still. The last card is the King of Cups, uncovering the confession this person guards above everything else entirely. King of Cups says this person is deeply in love, and they have told no one at all. That love is not new. It has been growing louder inside them with every week that passed. King of Cups confirms they ache to be emotionally bare with this one bond, and only this one. They long to be seen fully, to release the armor, and to be received without judgment at last. The confession guarded most fiercely is that they need this bond more than their pride will ever allow. King of Cups reveals they privately admit they caused the distance, and that knowledge haunts them every night. They carry that blame alone, and the weight of it presses harder on their chest with each day. The hidden truth beneath all of this is simple. They want to come home to this bond permanently. The fear of hearing no is the only barrier, standing between their confession and the silence. This person is in love, always has been, and that truth is the loudest confession on this table. Okay, let us see what is ahead, because the near future of this connection is speaking loudly. The first card approaching is the Wheel of Fortune, signaling a major turning point that arrives soon. The wheel says the cycle of distance is ending, and a brand new chapter prepares to open. This connection enters a new phase, where everything that was blocked finally begins to flow freely again. Wheel of Fortune confirms timing shifts toward reunion, and the universe is actively aligning it right now. The second card for the near future is the Ten of Cups, pointing directly toward emotional fulfillment. Ten of Cups says the outcome building here is rooted in lasting love, deep harmony, and real permanence. This is not a temporary reconnection. Ten of Cups confirms a foundation strong enough to hold permanent weight. What approaches carries the energy of wholeness, of finally being in the right place with the right person. Both cards together paint a picture of lasting return, not a fleeting visit, but a true homecoming. The near future holds reunion, raw honesty, and the kind of emotional return that changes everything ahead. You will both feel the shift when it lands, and neither of you will deny what it carries. Let me offer some guidance, because the energy building around you right now deserves to be handled wisely. Stay grounded in what you know to be true, and do not let anxiety rewrite today's story. Trust the timing of what is coming, because forcing it before it arrives will only create friction. When this person reaches out, receive them with an open heart, but maintain clear and firm boundaries. You do not need to abandon your standards to welcome love. Hold space without losing yourself in it. Let them prove through consistency what they confessed in silence, and give the connection room to rebuild. Your worth was never in question, and the cards made that undeniably clear throughout every single part today. Your only task is to stay open, stay patient, and trust that what is yours will not pass. Let me bring us back to the message that opened this entire reading, because it ties everything together. The message was this: your person and the third party fought, and now they are rushing toward you. Every card across this reading, without exception, confirmed that message from the first pull to the last. The fight happened, the truth erupted, the decision was locked, and movement toward you already began. Let me walk through every card that appeared across all 6 parts for your full recap here today. Five of Wands confirmed the conflict. The Tower confirmed the eruption of buried truth between them both. Knight of Swords confirmed the rush, and the Two of Wands confirmed a permanent choice already made. Nine of Swords showed your anxiety. Queen of Cups honored your depth, and the Star held your hope. Ace of Cups confirmed your heart stays open. King of Pentacles revealed their need for control always.
The moon exposed their confusion. 6 of Cups revealed deep familiarity, and the Hermit showed their withdrawal. 8 of Wands confirmed rapid movement. Page of Swords confirmed their calculated approach toward you directly. 3 of Wands confirmed a plan in motion. The Lovers confirmed this is the bond they value most. 7 of Cups exposed hidden fantasies, and the King of Cups confirmed they are deeply in love. Wheel of Fortune confirmed the shift arriving, and 10 of Cups confirmed lasting fulfillment approaching you now. That is 17 cards across 6 parts, and every single one pointed in the exact same direction. Not one card contradicted the message, not one card denied what is coming, and not one suggested distance. The alignment across every part of this reading is remarkable, and nothing about it was left uncertain. This reading is among the clearest I have seen, and the certainty leaves no room for doubt. What belongs to you is making its way back, and the cards confirmed it with uncommon force today. You are loved, you are chosen, and the person your heart recognizes is heading straight toward you now. Hold on to that, carry it with you, and trust that what was revealed is unfolding for you now. Thank you for being here, for trusting me with your energy, and for walking through this with me. I send you love, I send you light, and all of the blessings that this beautiful reading carries. Wheel of Fortune confirms timing shifts toward reunion, and the universe is actively aligning it right now. The second card for the near future is the 10 of Cups, pointing directly toward emotional fulfillment. 10 of Cups says the outcome building here is rooted in lasting love, deep harmony, and real permanence. This is not a temporary reconnection. 10 of Cups confirms a foundation strong enough to hold permanent weight. What approaches carries the energy of wholeness, of finally being in the right place with the right person. Both cards together paint a picture of lasting return, not a fleeting visit, but a true homecoming. The near future holds reunion, raw honesty, and the kind of emotional return that changes everything ahead. You will both feel the shift when it lands, and neither of you will deny what it carries. Let me offer some guidance, because the energy building around you right now deserves to be handled wisely. Stay grounded in what you know to be true, and do not let anxiety rewrite today's story. Trust the timing of what is coming, because forcing it before it arrives will only create friction.